Hi everyone, I hope you can hear me. Thank you for joining us during this session. My name is Vahe Baloulian. I'm a strategic advisor with BetConstruct. So today I'd like to talk about people who make everything we do possible. Actually, inside I will talk about one of my major pet peeves, but for now I want to talk about people who provide the funds for gaming companies to exist, their employees to get paid, gaming conferences and expos like this one to proliferate, gaming media to thrive and multiply. People who provide inspiration for the new games to be created, new technologies to be developed, and new business methodologies to be implemented. Who are these people that go through an effort to pay us for the entertainment we provide to them? The entertainment called gambling. Gambling has existed in every known society, from the primitive to the most complex. Dice games and guessing games are recorded during Stone Age among Bushmen of South Africa, natives of Australia and America. Dice dating from 3000 BC were found in an Egyptian tomb. The gaming board is cut into on the steps of Acropolis in Athens. And there is plentiful evidence of gambling in the self-indulgent era of the Roman Empire. Gambling methods change with the times, and there is no doubt that gambling will continue to be part of the cultural history of nations for as long as they exist. Although it should be perceived as normal, legitimate leisure activity, people who gamble are often stigmatized. And I'm not talking only about problem or pathological gambling. Although the stigma from the general public appears to be based on stereotype of a typical problem gambler. Selfish, greedy, impulsive, irresponsible. However, research suggests that even people experiencing gambling problems have widely varying characteristics and do not conform to the stereotype. Regardless of whether the stigma is justified, it's both present and is problematic. It becomes even more problematic when people who are paid to serve, support, and make our players feel comfortable harbor these stereotypes as well. Due to the nature of my business, I often communicate with customer service professionals from gaming companies. I usually like to speak to the lowest level of employees, the customer service reps. And I ask them one question. Please describe in 2-3 words your customers. More often than I would like, I get to hear selfish, greedy, impulsive, irresponsible, sick, egoistic, immature. I don't blame the reps. They simply carry in the stereotypes of the society they came from. Let me make just one observation. Gaming has always been demonized, always received bad press, and often because of the inaction or inadequate action by the gaming companies. I don't know of any other industry that will say that their customers lost money when they purchased their service or product. Yet most, if not all, gambling companies use this term, or at the very least, don't object when others are using it. The problem is in the companies that employ these customer service reps without making an effort to address their biases and change them before they get to speak to the people they serve. The people who enjoy this pastime we offer and who don't want to be thought of in such derogatory terms. Even more so, the problem is in the entire industry. I worked with the marketing director of a sizable, I would say, major gaming company who was convinced that gambling is evil. Yet this person continued to serve the so-called evil by promoting it. When I go to a movie theater and pay for the entertainment provided there, I don't say, yeah, I went to see a movie today and lost money because when I left the movie theater, I had less money than I had before I went there. Or people don't say, oh, you went to a movie theater today. How much money did you lose? Yet it's totally acceptable when we are asked, how much money did you lose in a casino or at the races? Nonsensical quotes like, all gaming, since it implies a desire to profit at the expense of another, involves a breach of the 10th commandment, this one by Richard Watley, are spread without any reflection. Show me a business that doesn't desire to profit at the expense of another. Gambling per se is not problem gambling. Problem gambling is a serious issue, but we should recognize that gambling is about recreation, social interaction, and the opportunity for dreaming and hoping. The expansion of legalized gambling usually brings a passionate debate on social and economic desirability of gaming. But the debate largely doesn't touch upon the fact that we should respect the rationality of all individuals by accepting that they have a competence to make reasonable choices. We should respect the freedom of all individuals by supporting their ability for control and choice. If today's gambling activities are to be humanly enriching and reasonable, the gambling industry needs to change how it sees itself. The only argument the industry brings to its defense is the amount of taxes it contributes to the countries where they operate, the economies of their countries, and that it takes responsibility for the negative impact of gambling. Why do people gamble? Research summarizes people's reasons for gambling as hoping and dreaming, making money, social interaction, recreation, and charity. The dream of winning is identified as the leading reason. A person gambling for this reason does so not because he expects to win. That's the case when people gamble for the purpose of winning money, but because he or she hopes to win. The gambler sees an opportunity to come out ahead of the game. He sees the possibility of entertainment at no cost and with the potential of profit. The dream of the big win is a motivation here. Show me another business where you went for entertainment and you had a hope of getting out with more money than you came in. That at the end of the spectacle or at the end of the play or a movie or a football game, someone would come to say, hey, congratulations, you just received $10,000. Even online, the shared experience with other gamblers, the game's jargon, the sense of belonging to a distinct group of individuals, the opportunity to be appreciated when a successful choice is made are all factors that contribute to the social aspect of gambling. For some gamblers, the opportunity to be entertained while supporting a worthy cause is an incentive to participate. We see this all over the world, where the charities run gambling games. We can't call them by any other word. Bingo games or poker games that benefit their charities, and people participate. Gambling also may be an escape from problems, depression, or negative feelings. Some people gamble out of boredom or loneliness. We need to recognize and appreciate this. Not every gambler that comes your way is the person you imagine in your mind. I had a friend who is the owner of a major construction company. And every time when he comes home around 7, 8 o'clock and he's ready for dinner with his family, which is a tradition in their house, for 10, 15 minutes, he likes to sit down and play either chess or slots. Typically, you wouldn't expect the same person to play chess or play slots. He likes to do it one game or the other. And recently, he had an issue where he called support to ask if a particular payment method was accepted. The support rep probably had in mind this another degenerate is calling, and they said, yeah, it's accepted, without checking where this person is calling from, which country, whether he's registered for that particular payment method and so on. So my friend tried to deposit, and it didn't work. So he called again. They put him on hold, and he had only 15 minutes to spend playing this game. Now he became very agitated and upset, annoyed, despite of the fact that when he came to sit down and play, he was in very good mood. Just tired and wanted to relax. Then his kid comes, knocks on the door of his office, says, Dad, the supper is ready, and says, yeah, Gerard, I'm coming. So now he's pissed off. After 10 minutes, he finally gets a possibility to deposit. Now it's too late, he's angry, he screamed at his kid for no reason, so now he has to go and apologize. And all for one simple reason, that the person was serving him didn't pay attention, didn't see him as a human being. That's the most important thing. They didn't see a person behind this call. They just saw a number that needs to deposit money, and who deposits money at 8 o'clock, and this idiot wants to play, and I have to tell him this. So how to distinguish wrongful and unreasonable gambling from acceptable gambling? Gambling ethical. Is there anything humanly fulfilling in gambling? And are the choices made by gamblers and providers of gambling reasonable and respectful to others? There are clear, basic, and humanly fulfilling reasons to gamble. As I said, socializing, recreation, and the opportunity to hope. Second, there are also some influential and flawed reasons why people say they gamble, particularly winning to make money. Financial difficulties can and do encourage people to gamble in the hope of winning money. I will skip citing the numbers, which are publicly available, but it's a fact that most individuals gamble in ethical, rational, and reasonable way. Today, I don't speak about those who have gambling problems, not because they're not important, but because I want to focus on those who gamble with no ill effects. They do not gamble with the aim of making money, not to be confused with the hope of making money. They only spend time or money on gambling that is set aside for entertainment and is not required to meet any essential commitments and responsibilities. And they do not allow gambling to become controlling and disproportionate part of their life. So who are these online gamblers? Well, they are mature people. They are far more value-driven. They have a different set of needs and wants compared to most, let's say, land-based players. They have a different set of needs and wants compared to themselves when they play in land-based venues. They have time to read books about gambling strategies. They shop promotions, compare players' clubs, know the value of their bonus points, and they are never ashamed to ask for things. In fact, they are very good at it. While most land players visit casinos 1 or maybe 2 times a year during their budgeted vacation, online players may play as often as they like, sometimes every day. In short, land players have more money than time. Online players have more time than money. Because of the high level of visitation and competitive environment, the expectations of online players tend to be very high. They expect casino promotions every month. They expect to receive email offers on a regular basis. If we alter our email schedule, we will hear from them. An offer made more than 1 month in a row or a promotion that lasted more than 30 days often becomes an entitlement to online players, and if we stop it, they will let us know. This behavior is a learned behavior taught by the very casinos and sportsbooks, which now struggle to maintain this relationship. We taught our members to always expect an offer and always expect a deal. We monitor, match, and sometimes exceed the offer of our competitors, encouraging higher levels of expectations from our players. And then we call them greedy when they demand that we deliver on those expectations. To keep the members loyal and satisfied with a proper amount of recognition is our greatest challenge. Adding value to our members' gaming experience without dramatically increasing our marketing expense is the most difficult challenge that gambling companies are facing. The smart ones know how to deal with this challenge. They know how to create pleasing gaming environments, foster loyalty, encourage visitation without giving away the story. They realize the value and the enormous benefits of this behavior. Instead of resolutely declaring our intentions and promise of thoughtful service, as you see on many websites, we should express our intentions by gentle words and resolute action. Of course, not all our actions will bring satisfaction and happiness to our players, but there will be no satisfaction and happiness delivered without our action. I found it during all my years in gaming to be very gainful when all discussions are handled with caution and actions are decisive. When we have to give way, we do it with graciousness. When we have to pause, we do it with firmness. This is done one player at a time, regardless of how big your company is. You can succeed in small things if you're not burdened with great ambitions. What I'm describing is often called retention. Retention is a collection of strategies to encourage our players to do what we want them to do, which should be no different from what they want to do. But when discussing these strategies, we often do not visualize the human beings who are going to be recipients of our actions. To succeed, we need to be very good at understanding why people do the things they do and how to convince them to do the things we wanted them to do. After we have convinced them, how do we keep them doing the same thing? I mean, how do we keep players while still trying to get the new ones in? How do we change our mindset, which is genetical, of being more enthusiastic during the chase than after the chase is over and we are in possession of our target? How do we make sure that we're as excited about the players we have and about keeping them as we are about bringing in the new players? Even if you don't believe that it makes sense to treat your players gently, just because they are human beings who deserve this type of treatment, keep in mind the studies by Bain and company along with Earl Sasser of Harvard Business School that shown that even a 5% increase in customer retention can lead to an increase in profits of between 25 and 95%. When we keep our players longer, not only do they continue spending with us, but they get to know us better and they refer others. But will they refer others when there is this negative stigma associated with gambling? They have to go and say, look, I'm gambling at this site, you should too. Any business agreement, this is by B.C. Forbes actually, he said that any business arrangement that is not profitable to the other person will in the end prove unprofitable for you. The bargain that yields mutual satisfaction is only one that is apt to be repeated. Why do I bring this quote? If these people are not happy about playing, and again, I'm not talking about sick people, pathological gamblers. If regular players are not happy about playing, they wouldn't be doing it. I don't believe they're masochists. To conclude, I must say that I don't really care whether people gamble or not. All I'm arguing about is that it should be their decision. And if they decide to gamble, they shouldn't be frowned upon. And to afford the gamblers this luxury of not being treated as degenerates, the gambling industry should show more self-respect and should stop shooting itself in. That's all I wanted to share with you today. Thank you for listening, and if you have questions, let me know. I think I have to push the microphone. Yes. Hello? No. Next one. Okay. I see there are no questions. I appreciate your time and hope to see you soon again. Thank you. Bye-bye.